Hello all. I Atharva Khedkar. Welcome everyone to the final day of TechConvocation 2020. Let me give you a quick recap of what happened in the first 2 days. On the first day, 17 selected participants from all across the world spoke on how AI is being used in their countries for advancement and development purposes. On the next day, selected 14 participants delivered a speech on how AI can be used to achieve world prosperity by fulfilling the Sustainable Development Goal declared by the United Nations in 2015. And today, we have the top 10 participants who will be a part of the General Assembly on the future of AI. By the end of this session, we will have the top 3 winners who will take away cash prize worth 600 US dollars. Today's judge and chief guest is Dr. Mukta Palivar. Ma'am was the judge for day 2 and we are honored to have her today as well. I welcome you, ma'am. I also extend my heartiest welcome to Professor Achama Thomas, Chapter Advisor, IEEE CIS GHRC. So, in no time, I would like to call upon Mr. Vedant Bahel to take this session forward.
Thank you very much, Atharva. Thank you, ma'am, for joining in and being the judge for today as well. So, as Atharva told, the session is going to be a group discussion, a normal group discussion on future of AI. And I'll be moderating this session. This session will continue for about 40 to 45 minutes, after which we'll be having feedback and the result declaration. So just a rule, when I say something and when I ask for opinion, is everyone able to use the hand raise option? Can we just test it out? Can you raise the hand on Zoom? Yes, okay. Perfect. Please, everyone, are you able to use the hand raise option? Okay. Okay, first of all, just please turn on your cameras and microphones as well. Okay, perfect. Can someone tell where is the hand raise option?
Yeah, it's on the participants list.
Now we are able to.
Okay. It's in the participants list. I'm assuming everyone is able to use it. Please let me know if not. Right? Perfect. So shall we begin?
Yes.
Okay. So when I put forward any question or when I open the discussion, you can just raise your hand and I'll allow that person to speak the next. Okay. So let's start. It's 1805 in India right now, and the session will continue for about 40 to 45 minutes. And we begin at 1805. So artificial intelligence is the new electricity and data is the new oil. We are in the phase of fourth industrial revolution. And as we know, in the 19th century, in the second industrial revolution, electricity played a major role and disrupted the whole of the manufacturing and production sector. Today, in this fourth revolution of industry, we have AI, which is expected to disrupt and cause a massive disruption in the industrial sector. One of the major pillars of artificial intelligence is automation. And some say automation is the power source for unemployment. That is, it will take away all the jobs. My first question to this assembly is, what are your views on this? Yes, Sakib.
I think, as you mentioned, that taking away our jobs, I think this is somewhat correct and somewhat not correct if we are looking at the picture in a wrong way. Like traditional jobs will be eliminated for sure if AI rules, but it happens all time after decades. When the technology, new technology comes, it replaces the previous manual things. Like once there were ships to travel here and there, but when the airplane came, we it became more faster, traveling became faster. So the ship criteria was changed, but it doesn't mean that all the things were eliminated and we were downgraded. We actually upgraded. So things will change. We need to make ourselves flexible, but artificial intelligence will going to make some multi-dimensional jobs. Like in this pandemic situation, we can realize that working from home or working from any corner of the world is how much important. Artificial intelligence can somewhat allow us that in a huge manner. So that is a great thing, that is a great possibility for us. So we need to look at the picture in this way. If we lose some jobs, it doesn't mean that we are losing everything. We just need to change our point of view and need to shift the right thing in the right way. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, yes, Trina.
Okay, so when the Industrial Revolution happened around 200 years ago, at that time people also people were doing everything, the physical work manually. So that took a lot of physical labor. So when the Industrial Revolution happened, a lot of machines came and people started using machines for it. So it's not like the jobs were gone. So they were instead using the machines, and for maintenance of the machines and using them and creating them, more jobs were actually generated. So the same thing can also happen in case of AI. Like we can have more people for data analysis, for like I can see nowadays, for research in AI, they also call people from linguistic and cognitive science sector to have contribution in it. And so maybe it will create more jobs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, what I got from this was that the jobs will be created, but fully in the AI sector, that is in the AI research or in the maintenance of artificial intelligence. And currently, those people who are working into a different variety of sectors, they cannot really move into AI as of a sudden. Like if their education is into some different field, let's suppose that we are assuming an industry which was fully based on mechanical engineering, where mechanical engineers were working together to create something, and now we come with the automated production, and those engineers, what will they do? Because their whole of the education, their experience of last 10 years were in that domain. Do we have any solution for them, Prakriti?
Um, Okay, yeah, as for the people, other than the AI technicians, I think communication and understanding and adaptability is something really human, it's uniquely human. So these things will always be there. You know, no matter how much AI evolves, these psychological factors, the human to human connect, it's always going to be there. So such people are always, like I mean, be needed in our industry. And as for the mechanical engineers, as you mentioned, I think their experience doesn't go anywhere. What can an AI learn? AI can learn, say, the new techniques or maybe the new implementations, but the human to human interaction, because even after AI is implemented, the humans are not going anywhere. We are here to stay. This is our planet. AI is something that we will use to help ourselves, to help us grow, to make us more comfortable. So the part where this AI will involve with humans, that is the part where we need other humans to train AI, or to maybe convey the message, like the technicians part, who will make AI more comfortable for humans to use. Because if humans don't use, no matter how good the AI is at what it is configured to do, if humans are not comfortable, in the end, it's not going to be an integration. It's just going to be an add-on.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Sambhav. Sambhav, we are not able to hear you. I'll get back to you. Right?
Okay. Good afternoon to us all, and
Mm-hmm.
congrats to us all for making it up to this stage of the competition. So, when we are talking about AI and jobs, as Dave rightly said, AI doesn't take away the jobs, right? It doesn't take away the jobs we have. it just replaces them with something else. So the job a human being was supposed to do on daily basis, now we have a machine doing that job. So the job is not gone, but the person who was having the job, he has lost his job, right? So, and we also talk about AI also brings in new jobs in terms of maintenance. People are supposed to maintain the systems and all those stuff. So we are getting more jobs added on. The only difference is that who is having the job is what is the problem. So
Well, the
the
question over
difference is
here
that
is
the
exactly that
person having the job, he will not get.
people to create to work in those new job
Hello.
sectors, because it will be a new job sector, exactly, right? So Sambhav, are we?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so in my perspective, like any task which is rule-based, repeatable, and predictable can likely be done by AI in the future. So here is a problem and an opportunity at the same time. The problem is people have to have sophisticated skills in order to get jobs. Also, the jobs that are likely to be automated by AI are mostly of the low-income workers, which reflects the majority of population. So this is something that needs to be addressed properly. So any person, if let's suppose there is a person who is a certified translator, he or his or her job is going to be obsolete in the future if AI is able to do that job. So if not addressed properly, this can create a huge gap between the privileged and underprivileged. However, at the same time, AI and ML has the potential of creating 133 million new jobs, according to the World Economic Forum. So if we can perceive the AI's effect on the job sector as both positive and negative. And in my opinion, I think governments need to reevaluate their education systems and prepare the students to ask better questions rather than provide just simple answers to the existing ones.
Okay, thank you. Hadger.
Vedant, can I add something to this?
Yes, I'll give you a chance. Yes, Hadger.
Yes, actually, even according to the Sundar picture recently, I completely appreciate my team members, whoever have said, they're absolutely right. I'm going to agree with it. But there is a small problem, small glitch in here is that, especially the manual labors are going to be bit losing the jobs when coming to this perspective. But they can get the jobs in terms of, they can go into the other side of businesses, like they can become they can become technicians, and they can come into, different genre of in which, AI is sorting the jobs for. So that is all I want to add.
Thank you. This was Shalini speaking. I will just let the judge know that the last voice was from Shalini, and now I give chance to Hadger.
Hello everybody. So the question is how AI is impacting unemployment and employment. So what I think is that it's true from the study of McKinsey, there is 50% of the job that can be automated, and it's huge. So we have like file classification, we have file retrieval, which will be automated for sure, and which is now automated actually. And the problem is when looking at these jobs, why not looking at it as it is an evolution for humankind, and these people, these employed people in these jobs will have the opportunity to see other jobs created. And if we see, for example, the introduction of personal computer in the 70s, we had like millions of newly created jobs for them. So it's the same thing with AI that's going to happen. Also, we can see that some jobs will change and not be forever lost. So for example, with Amazon, they created some robots that will lift products, etc., in their centers, but then they asked the lifters to control the robots from remotely. So we're not seeing exactly direct unemployment, but rather opportunities to make greater things than we were doing before.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rubiet.
Hello everyone. we cannot say that what will happen in future, but we can have an assumption that AI will take over everything in the future. So I think in future most of the thing will be done using the machine, and decision making will also be done by machine, as deep learning is a new hot topic. So this is the thing to train AI and manage. We need people that with domain specific knowledge. Like if we need detection of disease, we need doctors to understand how they detect. So in job sectors, AI will surely change the scenario of job sectors, and AI will certainly eliminate traditional jobs or all human controlled manual processes. So, but that should not be a concern, because a change is the spice of nature. So, when new technologies or revolution comes, many old things get replaced, but with it, AI is going to create a multiple dimensional job with its initial possibilities. I believe more jobs, more people in more dimensions will be created. So it's my opinion about it.
Thank you. I give chance to Edianga to conclude over this topic as we will move to the second segment of the discussion.
All right. Well,
Edianga?
good day,
Yeah.
everyone. Yes, good day, everyone. So, from my research and study, I've discovered that there are over 1,000 jobs that have been taken over by AI. But the notable ones talk about, we can talk about the translation. There are many translation services out there. The notable ones are Google Translate, where some professionals could be erased off the translation service, because a lot of languages, millions of languages are out there, and Google Translate can seamlessly translate them from one form to another and in a relatively professional manner as a human would. So jobs like that would go off. And then we have digital personal assistants such as Siri, we have Google Assistant, and many more. So what I think is that customer care agent and business interaction will be replaced, because they have the bots can now communicate with them as a customer agent would and offer them product, let's say choices which they could make, and it could also help them seamlessly do transactions of a human's supervision. Also, we have services like in the manufacturing industries, like automobile industries, where technicians and other professionals build cars. About 10 years or more ago, humans manually would carry the automobile parts from one point to another and assemble them. But right now, we have artificial intelligence and other bots doing that automatically, moving vehicle chunks from one point to another and assembling them in the car assemblies. So there are a lot of opportunities
Thank
which
you,
AI
Edianga.
has.
I will have to stop you there. Thank you. And with this sector of jobs, what I get is that the AI will be a assistive system rather than a substitute for the jobs, and it will be more like an assistive system to do the jobs easily, as it was done by the electricity in the industrial 2.0 in early 19th century. Moving to the next sector of this discussion, when I talk about future of AI, the thing which pops into my mind usually, how much can we trust AI? What are the things that we see in the sci-fi movie? What if they come truth about robots using humans as slaves? I'm not sure because this is very fictitious, but we are never sure about what is going to be the future. So, what is this key building, this criteria which can act as a bridge between trust of humans on AI? Yes, Shalini.
Yeah, actually, regarding the trust factor, I think AI can be used for social good, but it can also be used for other types of social impact in which for one man it'll be a good thing, whereas the other man will become as evil. Because for one man, whatever the one man thinks, it might not go the same with the other man. So we must remain aware of that. And also, without proper care in programming AI systems, you could potentially have the bias of the programmer play a part of, in determining outcomes. So I think we have to develop, certain kinds of frameworks for thinking about these type of issues in advance, so that we can eradicate, we can have the trust factor with the AI. And I think mostly AI is trustable when it comes to the medical fields and other kinds of manufacturing sectors. However, security wise, it is not yet, we can't really trust AI because we have a lot of security issues going on.
Daniela.
Uh, the AI is an amazing base for the technology. This can help the professionals in their specific sector, but at the end, it's a help because they are programmed for this. In science fiction, the programming language or AI in our times could be in robots that take our jobs that make us wars, for example. But this is a lie, big lie, because it will take years to make that AI thinks and reason like a human. Besides, they are working in cognitive research. Think an application that takes photos to you to recommend books or motivation notes, but this AI just give you these books and recommendation because this AI is programmed for this. They because they don't have sentiments or faith as a human can they make that the results change in the last moment. There is a very concept that must be clear. A machine or a robot may not be physical. In fact, most robots are virtual. The AI don't need a body to stay, but can already be settled in the cloud. Martin Ford, in his bestseller book called Architect of the Intelligent, speaks about the role of the AI in many sectors like education, medicine, um, other more. What should we be concerned about as artificial intelligence advances? Well, in summary, nowadays AI is going down another part of managing host amounts of data and creating partners that help us decision to the professionals. So the science fiction is a big lie of the AI.
Okay, thank you. Sakib.
Okay, Vedant, I think the concern from the science sci-fi movies we get, it is not a concern for us at least to the 2050s, because we know the AI, artificial intelligence or machine learning based systems are developed from how our brain works. And as a neuroscience researcher, we know at most 4% of the brain till now, 4 or 6%, and from that portion we are applying the methodologies to AI. And the is that we are thinking now AI will take over and it will control us. I think the humans need to be more concerned about programming a thing. We need to be more less biased. Like if I develop a knife, so someone can use that knife for killing someone, or someone can use that knife for saving someone's life as a doctor. So it is us how we are using the things that exist. And if we think that something like magic will come and AI will take over us, it will get more intelligent, that is not going to happen in somewhat before 2050, or it's not that. Because Sir Dr. David Eagleman also mentioned in his TED talk that it is not the condition, because our brain is so much sophisticated. The neural networks designed in our brains naturally are so much complicated. We didn't even apply the 1% till now. So we need to know about ourselves more and more. Then it comes that no, AI will beat us.
Thank you. Mr. Bright. Okay. Sorry. Prakriti?
Yeah, so talking on a basic human to human level, I think humans trust something they can understand. That's the whole point of mystery behind aliens. So, till now, wherever we've spoken about implementations, we've spoken about AI as an assistance to our daily lives. So, I think AI can be trusted on an assistance level. Like Sakib said, obviously, it won't rule us. I mean, it's not even going to like level up to us, but it could make our lives easier. Like, say suppose in marketing, it could help us, target the audience, or it could help us, instead of humans spending their time writing customized messages to everybody, or customized petitions to everybody. AI could do that. I don't think we need a lot of human brain for that. If computers do that for us, humans will have more time to spend that 4% of the human brain on implementing something new, coming up with something new. So I think AI can be trusted as far as it is used in an assistance level, and not for major decision making. It should be used as a help or to provide data for decision making. In the end, it should be humans who are making the decisions, because we are capable of it. Our AI is not in a state to do that yet. Thank you.
Thank you. Uh, we'll get to Hajar now, after which I'll ask Sambhav to summarize this sector of the discussion. Hajar.
Okay, thank you. How AI, can we trust AI? So I think this question it implies, can we trust humans now? Because like in a sci-fi movie, when a robot decides to kill someone or to destroy humanity, this is wrong, and we know it, and this is its intention. But now when a robot do some wrong, we know that the problem is in the code, the problem is in the algorithm, the problem is in the data. So it's either one of these. I'm going to give two examples. The first one is when we create a system, for example, for facial recognition. I create a system for facial recognition for social media to detect my face, to detect my friends, etc. And it's a great thing. But when I open source it and someone else take it and then decide to detect political dissidents outside or celebrities outside and do some harm. So when we create something, we need to have we have the duty to see the range of applications that can be done with these systems. So this is the first thing, and to get rid of these practices, I think the big companies decided to create in 2016 the partnership on AI, and they decided to set up the best practices to use AI and to use these systems. The second example I want to give is about the criminal justice system in the United States. They created a model that predict the chances to someone to commit another crime in the future. So it gives the chance to the judges to give them bail or not based on this system. And the problem, they noticed that Black people were most likely to get recidives, etc. And it's horrifying. And why is that? Because the data that were built on this model were data of white men only, and all Black men were recidives and has more chances to get more crime in the future. And this problem gave rise to the problem of fairness in the data. And then there is DeepMind and Google that are working on that, trying to diversify the teams that are working on models. So I
I'll have to stop you there. It was great applications.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Yeah, thank you. Sambhav.
No problem.
Yeah. So whenever we talk about AI,
Sambhav, we are again having issues with hearing you. Please just.
Yeah, I can.
No, we are not able to hear you. There's some problem with the microphone, I guess. I'll get back to you, Trina. Okay. Trina, here we have a specific question which Hajar raised, that how much can we trust humans? And but for humans, we have particular rules and regulations assigned in every country in order to limit what we do and how we do things. And we don't see rules coming up, those strict rules coming up for artificial intelligence. Do we have any discussion in that area?
Can you repeat the question? I didn't understand actually.
Hajar said that how much can we trust AI depends upon, there we have a question that how much can we trust humans? And for humans, we have pretty much rules assigned from the government, from the police department about what we can do and what we cannot, that we cannot do something negative. That's not what we are supposed to do. But for AI, if people goes, like if the AI system is not trustable, so do we have any discussion in that area?
I think first of all we should have a governing body which will make a set of rules like what kind of which will make restrictions like how the developers are developing the AI, and if it is going into wrong hands, um, yes, so it is necessary to have a governing body like that.
Sambhav.
Am I audible now?
Yes, hardly, but yeah.
Okay. So first of all, talking about rules and regulations, like we first need to, whenever we
Sambhav,
start
we are losing you there. I'll suggest you if you can just remove the earphone or use a different set of earphones. Yes, Shalini?
Yes, Vedant. Actually, regarding the rules, even Kate professor has also suggested that there are a proper set of framework which needs to be done, which validates the data on a regular basis. And apart from that, we need to be ensured that the AI and the ML developers are using appropriate data, because we have huge amount of data which is not even good. I mean, some data are actually malicious also. So we need to be really careful of what data the developers are choosing, and it has to be certain frameworks are not yet developed properly. But in future, we need to have certain proper guidelines for the developers, especially before we are getting into that level of zone. Especially by the end of 2030, the framework might be done.
Daniela, the question over here where we are moving in the sector that what about data security and system security, basically privacy with upcoming AI systems?
Well, about the AI privacy and security, currently most of the technology developer with artificial intelligence need personal data as essential element to function correctly. I mean, for example, if you use Netflix, you have many recommendations about the movies, about the series. If you watch, for example, White House or other kind of series, Netflix use this information to recommend you some similar series. It's the same in Facebook. For example, in Facebook, if you write in inbox to your friends, healthy product every day, and the machine learning algorithm inside of Facebook gives you some recommendation about this. So it is so to protect this data so that it's not used to damage the integrity or well-being of people. Artificial intelligence has the ability to obtain a large amount of information and data from users. We are talking about, for example, being able to collect data related to reports, user, face, medical records, financial data, location, communication, everything that allows you to create a profile of that person and be able to achieve their objectives. One of the main reasons why they can get data on through program is because of the permission we grant. It's very important that we be very careful with that we accept when installing software on or mobile or computer. This is the case of TikTok, for example. If you accept the terminals and conditions, you are giving your your data for this application. Sometimes they can ask us for access to the content list, the microphone, the camera, but they can use their resource that they don't really need. For example, if you use Pokemon Go, this is an application, and they can ask of the contact list, and they never got to use this. So this is only for make algorithm of the machine learning, and sometimes they invade your privacy, intermittence, and conditions.
Thank you. Sambhav, before getting to Bright, I'll just check back if the system is okay.
Yeah. I've switched the mic. Does it work now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So talking about AI security, like whenever we talk about AI, it's built upon data. So if we talk about the current practices used right now, it's obfuscation, and that does not let the AI system take better decisions. So there are new approaches like federated learning and split learning, which are applied, and that sort of enhances the security portion when it comes to AI. But the point here is when we look into AI, when we look into the data that's being collected, first of all, we want to know about the purpose on which that data is going to work. Like if my hospital is recording my data to provide me with better service, are they going to use it for something else? Are they use or if I'm providing my data to a social media site like Facebook, are they using repurposing that data? And what I believe is that there should be regulations on whether or not the organization which is taking my data, and there should be ethical boundaries on whether or not they can use that data and interpret something else out of it. And there's a there's this sort of decision and trust that needs to be built up whenever we talk about data. So privacy is a very huge concern, and the techniques that are currently prevalent, I don't think they are up to date. And the regulations is something that needs to be developed in a very fast manner, because AI is growing exponentially, but the regulations are not. So the regulations need to be created as soon as possible when it comes to data privacy and security.
Bright, Mr. Bright.
All right. So concerning the data privacy, I think privacy is intertwined with the trust issue we just finished dealing with. So now you need to trust the system to be able to know that your privacy is secured, right? So if you don't trust them, then you have issues with privacy. So the data privacy is intertwined with the trust issue we just talked about. So I think what we need to do is that first of all,
Mr. Bright, we are not able to hear you. It will be great if you can write it down in the chat,
get
the opinion that you're trying to say.
some kind of a governing body, right, within such systems, so that when you're coming to build. So as I was saying, I said the data privacy is intertwined with the trust issue we just finished talking about, right? So what we have to do is that first of all, we need to get a governing body, right? Some form of a governing body to regulate all the activities of people who build such systems. So that when you're coming to build a system, you know that yes, these are the do's and the don'ts. My system should be able to do this, and this part should be untouchable, right? So with that, we know that okay, yes, we have a system at least, though the system might have breaches, but at least we know that there are some rules guiding us, so we know we have a lesser problem to deal with. And then I also think we can use some form of a random system, like for our health records. Let's say you go to the hospital, when they take your medical records, it's stored on a different cloud machine somewhere, right? Your images and all other things, it's not stored as a piece. That's just what I'm trying to say. So your information is not stored whole in one system. So it's stored randomly in different machines. So in case of any system breach at all, you know that okay, yes, when their system is breached, they can only breach one part, and you get an incomplete data, right? So if you are keeping it part like that, so when you need them, all you have to do is that you integrate them using machine learning systems again. You can match the names and other things, so you can have something like a code or something, which you embed in each data stored somewhere. So when you want to retrieve the data, all you have to do is that match your code you've embedded. If the code matches, then you know this data is for this person. This image matches to this information stored here, and all that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
So
That's
thank
a
you
bright.
very much.
That's a great solution, Mr. Rubiet.
Thank you, Mr. Vedan, for giving me the chance. Um, if I talk about data privacy, for example, I want to eat pasta and I am talking to my friend via Messenger. So if a restaurant pays Messenger and Messenger can recommend me ads about that specific restaurants, no matter how good their food is. So I think their data privacy can be violated without my consent. So several times it is seen that business organization or many other purpose, for example, election, millions of people's personal data has been unethically sold without people's consent. So I think it is also a big issue to keep in mind. So um, um, this is the thing, and I want to add that AI can use to make more secure and reliable data storage system. AI can be used to ensure users' privacy. So, meanwhile, we need to ensure how we are using the data through AI that we get from artificial intelligence. If we can use the AI-based system, maintaining the policies of data privacy and security, AI can be a blessing for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Edianga, now we make the session open to any topic in the domain. Mr.
Okay,
Edianga. Yeah.
okay. In terms of data security and privacy, in January 2017, the Asiloma conference grounds in California gave some principles, about 23 principles for AI. And in the sixth principle, they say that AI systems should be safe and secure throughout their operational lifetime. Now, in order for this to be ensured, I think, as Bright said, that there should be governing bodies that regulate the distribution of software systems that are powered by artificial intelligence, such that any system that is being distributed to the general public should be screened with scrutiny and ensured, and the validity and authenticity of that information is appropriate before it's being distributed to the public. And then another approach which could be used to ensure data security is that the decision-making system of the AIs should not be influenced by third parties, such that there should be multiple encryption layers for the data, so that no third party can get access to the decision-making system of the AIs. Also, I think some very critical tasks, such as maybe getting some specific proper information from users, should be handled by humans and not AI, because they could be flawed in some way. So that is my own contribution to this topic.
Thank you. Ms. Prakriti?
Yeah, since we were speaking about data protection and the concern of privacy, so I would like to bring to light Europe Union's policy of GDPR. So that's General Data Protection Rule. It was applied last year, and it kind of has a really strong hold of the companies doing business in the European Union. So why this has a hold is because they can, if any company violates this protection rule, they'll have to pay 20 million euros and can also have to pay 4% of their total annual turnover. So this kind of has the companies on its heels. So that way implementation is being done. Other than this is for sending data to third party apps, to anybody else except the company that is receiving the data. Now I think even for the company that is receiving the data, the company should make it a point not to overuse the data. Like, I hope all of you have heard of the retailer Target. It's an American retailer. So what happened was, there was this teenage girl. She had a case of
Ms.
teenage
Prakriti,
pregnancy.
please conclude your point.
Yeah, so I'll keep it short. So this shop made assumptions on the purchase history of the teenage girl, and they kind of like send pregnancy, coupons related to pregnancy for like baby gifts and all that before she could actually talk about it at home. So it was really uncomfortable. So I believe the companies should analyze data only to an extent that it will be comfortable by the individual consumers.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any points from Ms. Trina, Ms. Shalini?
Yes, regarding the privacy, I think we are still far away from, finding the right solution to the problem of privacy. But I think, there are small steps, where, such as, federated learning and differential privacy and homomorphic encryption. These are the three steps, which can help our privacy to to some extent we can get protected easily by following these three steps. The homomorphic encryption also uses the unique kind of it is an encrypted data, so that the results are sent in an encrypted form too, so that the unlocked it can be only unlocked by the unique key, so that the data cannot be stolen by any kind of people who want to do this who wanted to kind of stealing work and all. And even the federated learning, as Sambhav I think so already mentioned, it's very much important apart from the differential type.
Thank you, Ms. Shalini. Um, yes, Ms. Hedger.
Thank you, Vedant.
Thank you. So I have one point in this AI security and data security. So the point is when using privacy preserving machine learning, we are confronting with the inverted gradient. So with federated learning, we can invert the gradient and obtain the data. And also, as someone said, I forgot the name, sorry, AI can help us, can be a tool against data privacy, and can be a tool to data privacy by using belief neural networks and CNNs for IDS, for example, intrusion detection systems, for example. I wanted also to talk about deepfake. I don't know if someone would want to talk about it. So I wanted to talk about deepfake and how we can like make someone talk or act as another person. And I think this can be like a really dangerous application of AI and have a negative impact on the world if we're using it. So that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Hedger. Mr. Sakib, and after Mr. Sakib will be presenting the concluding point of the discussion. Please raise your hand if you wish to be a part of the conclusion. Mr. Sakib.
So Vedant, I was thinking that AI is now a global issue, and we need to sit together globally. It is not about USA, it is not about Bangladesh, or it is not about India. Things are going to use worldwide. So I think as a global people, we need to sit together and we need to fix the policies together, that what will happen in this type of situation that we are talking about, and we need to set the rules for all regarding all countries. If we use AI against ourselves, then it is not going to be a good use of us, a good use of AI. So we need to sit together and we need to take the decisions, the right decision, make the right policies for AI worldwide, as UN does in some topics. So AI should be recognized as a global topic, and all the world leaders, including all the people from different sectors, should sit together to satisfy or to set some policies that ensures AI will perform at its best for human civilization's development, not for destruction.
Thank you. Ms. Rubiet, Ms. Prakriti, and Ms. Sambhav, please discuss among yourself for the conclusion. And Ms. Rubiet,
Could you repeat
Hajar as
that?
well.
Could
Yes,
you repeat that?
please discuss the conclusion among yourself with each other. Ms. Rubiet, Ms. Hajar, Ms. Prakriti, and Sambhav.
So, like putting forth our points, right? This is the last
Yeah.
conclusion.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think Hajar was the one who talked about deepfakes, and yeah, I would like to add something to that. Like there are lots and lots of implications of technologies like deepfake, not just in terms of videos, but in terms of audio as well. And deepfake voice calls are being used for modern theft, and like whenever we talk about AI, we are moving towards a future where AI will possibly be taking decisions for us. And if there are wrongful data, as data is what powers AI, if the data is wrong, the decisions that will be made are also wrong. And also talking about the stereotypes, like there are lots and lots of stereotypes which are currently prevalent in the society, and if we feed those data containing those stereotypes to the AI model, it's gonna change the way it's gonna promote extremism, and it's gonna promote hatred. So in terms of AI, what I actually believe is whenever we want to
We lost you there, Mr. Sambhav, but I guess we heard from you. Yes, Ms. Rubiat.
I want to say my fellow teammates talk about some very good topic. I think AI has both good and bad sides. Protecting data is quite complex. So data security is very important. And I want to share my personal experience. And in my last semester, I have worked on a project with cybersecurity on phishing detection, and I came to know that there is a thousands of fake websites which are stealing people's credentials every day. So people losing money or facing troubles every day. So we have detected phishing URLs and tried to predict which URL is fraud and which one is legitimate. So I think here AI is used in a very good manner, and people can feel safe while putting their credential in any kind of websites. So I think this is the benefits of AI. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Prakriti.
Like we've discussed so far, AI is really beneficial. It can help us in so many ways, but there are some drawbacks in security, or say about where to apply them. They could have a lot of applications, but we don't know where to do it, where it is safe enough for us as humans. And so I would like to conclude by saying that AI being as good as it is, I think we should take our time testing it around, seeing how comfortable we are, how safe it is for all of us, and so it does not totally disrupt our entire lifetime, like in installments basically.
Thank you, Ms. Prakriti. Ms. Hajo.
Okay, I would like to say that in the first and second day, we have seen a lot of applications of AI, and I think we all agree and believe that AI has a monumental potential to different fields and different sectors. And in this discussion, we're seeing that we as developers and as AI practitioners, we need to be careful to select the right data, to select the right algorithm to build something with the intentions of making the world better and not with the bad intentions, for example. So I wanted to
Thank you.
conclude with
Ms.
that.
Trina.
Okay, so as we have discussed all the positive sides of and negative sides of AI, there is still a chance that AI can take over us, and because it's learning in a very fast rate. So one of the best way to deal with this is to merge with AI. Like if you cannot beat them, you need to join them. So many of the brain-computer interface companies are working on such things. Like they're trying to design chips which we can insert in human brain and we can merge with computers. So I feel if AI and humans can merge together, if we become cyborgs. So like we already are half cyborgs actually, because we stay most of the time in our phones, and like our life is completely focused on it. So that way we can grow together, and yeah, that is a good way to deal with it. Thank you.
Thank you. And here we end the discussion for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. We had a great discussion. It was really very fruitful. Now I hand over to Atharva Khedkar to take the session forward.
Well, wow, it was actually really good session, and thank you everyone. Thank you, Vedant. And yeah, it's true that as AI is advancing, we have to advance in cybersecurity too. We have to check in whether it's in hardware perspective or in software perspective. And as I guess Rubeth said that there are thousands of phishing websites. I guess instead of thousands, it should be lakhs and crores, because I have seen it too. And so yeah, and by the time we process the results, I would request Dr. Mukta Palivar, chief guest for today, to present her feedback on day 3 of TechConvocation 2020.
Are you able to hear me out?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
So I enjoyed the discussion thoroughly, and I congratulate you guys for having a current and updated reading and awareness about where this development in the field of AI is going. Definitely, you guys are yet to come into the mainstream developments, and you are getting ready for future professionals. I wish you all the best. While judging the, I'll just quickly mention that what is it that I have looked in when I had judged you. Even yesterday, I didn't mention it. And when I am doing the same thing today, I want you to have this clarity. So there are a lot many articles, right? So when you must have thought of appearing for this particular event, you must have read few articles. There are multiple blogs available, and then research papers are obviously they are ample in availability. The points that I looked into too much is the relevancy. Okay. So when you're talking about something from AI field to the current topic that was given to you, how much you were relevant and how much you were correct when you talked, with what confidence and with what clarity you had spoken. So these were the parameters that I have considered while judging even yesterday and today. So there may be some overlapping, and I find that the contestants were really, really fine and you were well prepared. There were few missed points. Some of it is, I understand, you being students, you are in the learning phases. But a little bit of more reading now, as you are IT professionals, I expect that to be precise with the facts on the research terminologies. The terminologies when you're using like federated learning or privacy preserving AI or security or cyber attacks, I expect that you guys go and get the use case a little bit more detailed, so that you don't talk superficial, but you understand it thoroughly. So that's the feedback that I wanted to give. And congratulations, best of luck for your future endeavors. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for your valuable feedback, ma'am. And yes, we'll definitely look after it. So now I request Mr. Vedant Bahel to declare the results of Tech Convocation 2020.
Let's hear from Professor Thomas. Ma'am, will like to hear your feedback for the whole event and for the day 3 as well.
Yeah, Vedant. So it was a wonderful session. In fact, I really congratulate the CIS team for having come up with this novel idea. And all the 3 days, it was really great to see participants, young people thinking about all the sustainable development goals, and to know their ideas about it. And I am sure that in future, I mean, we are in safe hands, because a lot of people, the young minds like you, are working and are thinking about global development and sustainable development. So that is really, really nice, and I'm really happy to listen to all of you, and very good. Overall, the program was really, really good. I am grateful to Mukta Paliwal ma'am for having accepting the invitation, and sharing her feedback on the event, and also for judging the event. Thank you so much, ma'am, and great work, team. And congratulations to all the participants, to all the winners, and all. In fact, I feel all of you are winners, because you all had the courage to come forward and you reached this far. So it was a great effort by all of you. Thank you so much.
So Vedant, give me a minute. So I actually wanted to echo with Thomas ma'am. All the participants are equally well, and I would definitely want to cheer them up. All of you have done a wonderful job, and towards the end, a very big congratulations to the organizing team for making the event in a virtual mode so well planned. Congratulations to you guys. A big clap from my side.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, Thomas, ma'am, as well for the feedback. I really loved the session, the whole of those 3 days, especially when international community is in place, is in the picture, because we usually are in the box in our community located locally, and we don't get to hear from people around the world what is going on around the world everywhere. And that was something which we got here at this session at TechConvocation. The results are out, and I'll just declare them in few moments. I'll just like to tell you that we have taken the overall result from all the 3 days to choose the winners for today. That is third, second, and first. Aditya, can we be on the result slide, please? Yes. So can we guess the third person, the person on the third rank, the second runner-up? in the chat box. Not from the organizers. I just want from the participants. Any
Everyone maybe can
guesses?
spam their own name too, huh?
That's confidence. We had a confidence as one of the parameter in the session. Okay. So the third position goes to Aditya. Move the slide, please. Miss Prakriti Sharma from Republic of India. Second runner-up, actually, not the first runner-up. Sorry, mistaken over there. Second runner-up. I'm very sorry about this. There's some mistakes on the slide. Just a minute. Aditya, please put down the slide. I'm very sorry about this. Yes, so the second runner-up that is on the third position is Miss Prakriti Sharma from Republic of India, getting the winning prize of 100 US dollars. Congratulations. Moving further, on the first position is Mr. Sambhav Buttal from Nepal with winning prize of 200 US dollar. Any guesses for the first position? Now we can guess. I guess.
Okay, drum rolls, please. Anyone?
Okay, I heard someone saying some name. Any other guesses? Yes, so on the first position is Miss Hajar from People's Democratic Republic of Algeria with the winning prize of 300 US dollars. Congratulations, everyone. This was really an amazing session. All those participants, all the participants will be getting the prize that is participation certificates and 2 months data camp subscription for free, where you can learn more about data science and machine learning and artificial intelligence. We wish, as a chapter chair of this IEEE CIS chapter, I wish if whole of this community, everyone in this community can always be connected to this chapter, because you are all a valuable resource for this chapter. And we want to have more such fun sessions in the future. Maybe you being a guest at our session for delivering a webinar on different topics, so that our participants get to know about the whole of the world, how AI is being used in whole of the world across the globe. Thank you everyone for joining in. Any words to say, anyone? Like feedback, open feedback from participants, other guests, organizing committee. You can please give your feedback.
Am I audible now, Vedant?
Yes, yes.
Yes, first of all, I would first like to congratulate everyone from the organizing committee. Like this has been an amazing experience for me as a participant, as an attendee. Even in the virtual platform, the way you managed everything, and it was aptly on time. Everything was on time. So that's something I really liked about the entire organizing committee. And regarding the feedback about this TechConvocation event, it's like everybody is a winner here. And apart from the other physical stuff we're getting, as it can be data camp subscription or anything else, the amount of knowledge I gained personally, what I believe is what is my prize as being a participant of this event. So the amount of research I did and the amount of new things I learned, not just by myself, but from all the other participants, the amount of inspiration I got from everyone, all the like-minded individuals in the event, that's massive, that's huge. So I would first like to thank Vedant as well, because he was the one.
I guess we lost you there somehow. I guess you were coming to an important point and we lost you there.
Learning experience for me, and I hope it was the same for everybody else. So Oh, sorry. I have some issues with my microphone today. So yeah,
Yep.
thank you so much to all the judges and organizing committee.
Thank you. I would like to extend my deep thanks to all of the participants, all the delegates, all the audience on YouTube Live, especially to the guest of honor, our chief guest for today, Dr. Mukta Paliwal, and our chief guest for the day one, Dr. Sheila Sudappa. Very thank you for your valuable time. We had you here. It was really amazing because that was the true judgment that you gave. Very thank you to the director of our institute, G.H. Raisoni College of Engineering, Dr. Sachinun Davle, for always guiding us to move further and always supporting us. Very thank you to Professor Ashama Thomas, the chapter advisor for this chapter, who has always supported us to take any step forward in this chapter. And here we have autonomy to take our own decisions, thus creating professionalism in ourselves. Thank you everyone for joining in. We hope to see you in future at for other events by IEEE chapter. Be connected. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay, before we wind this up, this is kind of like personal, but since this is like my first international conference, can everybody just turn on their cameras and I can take a screenshot as a memory for us in case the organizers haven't done it?
Yes,
Because
we actually wanted. I just lost it. Okay, thank you for reminding. Please turn on your camera so we can have a. Yes, everyone, even the organizing committee.
yes.
Oh, I myself has not turned on my camera. Sorry. Is Aditya Edianga?
Yes, I am.
Hey, cool. Let's take a picture. I'm unable to see two faces. They show me black. So kindly take picture on your end as well. Aditya, can you also take a picture on your end?
Sure, Vedant.
Thank you. We'll be shortly communicating with you for claiming of the prizes and further procedures.
Thank you so much for today.